Theropods. Theropods were mainly meat-eating dinosaurs that walked on two powerful legs. Some were small and fast like the Velociraptor and Allosaurs, and yes, Velociraptors were really small, unlike shown in Jurassic Park. However, some did grow gigantic and became apex predators like the T-Rex. They had really sharp teeth, curved claws, and extremely good vision that led to excellent hunting abilities. Their incredible diversity allowed them to survive in any biome, be it deserts, forests, or floodplains. Fossils show that some species hunted in packs, while others were solitary predators. And over time, these theropods evolved feathers and eventually gave rise to modern-day birds, making them the only living dinosaurs today. Sauropods. Sauropods were enormous long-necked herbivores that are among the largest land animals to ever exist. And they had really tiny heads, but also long tails, pillar-like legs, and extremely long necks that helped them reach high places to eat. But even after their enormous size, a lot of them lived in herds and dominated Jurassic ecosystems because of their massive size and their ability to consume huge amounts of plants. Some fossils of sauropods like Brachiosaurus, Diplodocus, and Apatosaurus have been found, and their footprints show that they migrated in groups over long distances in search of food and water. Ornithopods. Ornithopods were plant-eating dinosaurs famously known for their beaks and ability to move on both two legs or four legs. Early ornithopods were small and fast, but they eventually evolved into large animals and they became one of the most successful herbivores of the Cretaceous period because they had complex dental batteries that were capable of grinding even the toughest of plants. This group included duck-billed dinosaurs like the Parasaurolophus and Edmontosaurus, and also the Iguanodon. Fossils show that ornithopods lived in large social groups for protection. Ceratopsians. Ceratopsians were herbivorous dinosaurs famous for their strong horns, shield-like frills, and parrot-like beaks. The most famous member is the Triceratops, which had 3 horns and a huge neck frill. They mostly used their horns for defense against predators, fighting rivals, or fashion display for the ladies. Different species like the Protoceratops and Styracosaurus had unique horn shapes that may have helped them recognize each other. Their beaks were capable of slicing through plants, and their large frills may have also helped them regulate body temperature or attract mates. And eventually, they became some of the dominant plant eaters near the end of the age of dinosaurs, which also made predators like the T-Rex their natural enemy. Stegosaurs. Stegosaurs were medium-sized herbivores best known for their large blades along their backs and deadly spikes on their tails. These herbivores had really strong defensive features, but a relatively small brain in comparison to their bodies. And their spiked tails are often called thagomizers, but I prefer to call them atomizers because they could seriously injure predators. And aside from the well-known Stegosaurus, another species was the Kentrosaurus, which had really long tail spikes. However, even after so much debate, scientists still can't figure out what their backplates are used for. Was it for defense, for display, or body temperature control? We still have to figure that one out. Pterosaurs, often pronounced with a silent P, were flying reptiles that lived alongside dinosaurs and were technically not dinosaurs themselves. They were the first vertebrates to achieve powered flight and were either small gliding species or giant flying species like the Quetzalcoatlus or the Pteranodon, and their wingspans could rival a small modern plane. These creatures hunted mostly fish and small animals, or anything they could find while soaring over the humongous oceans or forests. And some believe that if these predators were alive today, they would hunt humans too, because to them, we would be the size of a rat. The largest in this species could stand as tall as a giraffe when on land. Just imagine a flying giraffe hunting you from the skies. Now that's a terrifying sight. Plesiosaurs. Plesiosaurs were mainly marine reptiles that thrived in oceans, and just like pterosaurs, they were also not true dinosaurs. Most of the species like the Elasmosaurus and Plesiosaurus had broad bodies with huge flippers that allowed them to move through water with remarkable speed and control, and extremely long necks which helped them to be stealthy during hunts. They mostly hunted fish and squid and became the best known aquatic reptiles of prehistory, although some species did have short necks and massive jaws, which were designed for catching large prey. And fossils of these creatures have been discovered on nearly every continent, showing how widespread they actually were. Ankylosaurs. Ankylosaurs were heavily armored herbivores covered in thick bony plates called osteoderms. They were literally a walking tank, with many species evolving to have powerful tail clubs that could be swung like weapons and destroy the bones of predators. Their armor made them one of the best defended dinosaurs ever. In fact, they were so good at defense that these were mostly solitary creatures, unlike most herbivores. And they walked low to the ground with wide bodies and short legs that kept them stable. The most famous member of this group is the Ankylosaurus, which usually fed on low-growing plants and relied more on defense than speed for survival. And these were the 8 major types of dinosaurs. If you want to see more content about dinosaurs, please leave a like and a sub. This video took me so long to make. I would really appreciate it. And thank you for watching. See ya.